We're just trying to quickly close this first part of verse 8 of chapter 1 of Daniel. And I was just re-emphasizing what we discussed the other time, talking about having mental models, having made a decision ahead of time of how we want to live our life, how we want to act in certain situations. Like in 2022, we need to begin to make resolutions. How do we want to live our lives? How do we want to carry ourselves? What kind of service do you want to go? What kind of revivals do you want to go? What kind of work do we want to do? What kind of money do we want to make? We need to make that decision ahead of time because it makes it easier for our brain to become more efficient about it, right? The things the brain knows ahead of time, it's easier for it to be more efficient about it. It's easier for you to make it bigger, to be more creative about it, to get more value, to bring more value out of it. Because what you meditate over is just like the Holy Ghost at creation, over and over that bad situation. When you think, when you make decisions ahead of time and you allow your spirit to over that thing, you get more out of it. God begins to give you insight. God begins to give you direction. You begin to receive things from a spirit realm. Your intuition knows what to pick from a spirit realm to bring to effect in the physical realm, to be more efficient at what you do. But if you don't make a decision ahead of time, then your spirit doesn't know what to go for. There's just so much value in the spirit realm, but your spirit doesn't know which one will work for you because you have not made that decision ahead of time. So when we make resolutions, we give power to our subconscious mind. We give power to our spirit. We give power to our intuition to bring us to a place of greatest value, greatest efficacy, right? That's the power of being resolute. That's the power of not just dancing around. Anything goes. What are they saying today? What are they saying tomorrow? But when you know where you're going, when you are pointed, the Bible says when your eye is single, then your body is flooded with light. You get direction, right? You get direction. Your body is flooded with light when your eye is single. But when it's not single, you're all dark. You don't have direction. You don't know what God is saying per time, right? So that's part of the value. And we're just talking about Jonathan Edwards. I won't go through all what he has, but he had those resolutions he had already put down, about 270, and that guided his life, right? And that's one example we can learn from someone like that. He had such resolutions like his first resolution says, I will live for God. That's the number one resolution he has. He says, I will live for God. So it was not in doubt what he was living for. He was not living for his wife. He was not living for his children, right? The first and primary thing he was living for was for God. Just like Paul would say, if I'm alive, it's as a servant of God. If I'm on the other side, I'm also with God, right? We need to be resolute about our life. Why are we alive? Are we alive for our village? Are we alive for our church? Are we alive for ourselves? Why are we alive? See, Jonathan Edwards didn't leave that in doubt. Number one resolution he had for himself is, I will live for God. Whatever God's will is, that's what I will do. That's what would be my driving motive, right? The second resolution was, if no one else does, I still will. So if no other person lives for God, though, I still will. So it was not in doubt as to that he was doing it because everybody is doing it, because it's popular, it's not popular, they like it, they don't like it. He already made up his mind. If I go to a place, I know that person is living for God. If I be the only one, I will live for God, right? I didn't write number 3 down. I wish I had written number 3 down, but I want ahead to write number 17 down. It says, I resolve that I will live so as I shall wish I had done when I come to die. So he wants to live the life that he would have wished to live at the time of his death. He doesn't want to get to the time of his death and start having regret. Oh, I wish. No. He wants to find out what will it I wish. Let him live it now. No place for regret when he's dying. So he says, I will live a life that I wish I would have lived by the time I'm dying. So you see, he was focused. And that's the power of resolution. We have to be focused about our life. I mean, we're crossing over to a new year. We need to ask ourselves, tell ourselves, I will live 2022 that I wish I would have lived by the time December 31st comes, 2022. That's going to be our resolution. If we decide it now, then God will help us. But if we don't decide it, God doesn't know what to help us with.